What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be ranking the top 10 best centers right now available in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM, including gambling cards, not including 100 overalls or GOAT cards. I'm still leaving those cards off of these lists because they are still very rare, although they are getting a little bit less rare. I don't know. At some point, I might include them, but as of right now, I'm still not including them, sticking to dark matter and lower gambling included cards, though. So before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 30,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, tons of consistent daily MyTEAM content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. And without further ado, number 10 is actually the only, well, one of two, I should say, Galaxy Opals on this list, and it is Tyson Chandler, who is just absolutely exceptional as a budget big, or free big, actually. He's not available, I don't believe, anymore, but he was a free reward this season from the Spark Drop and is really, really good. 94 speed, 82 three ball, which is his worst attribute is obviously his shooting ability, but if you add a few shooting badges, add handles for days, he's an absolutely exceptional defender, a phenomenal dunker. Only 7 foot. I say only because most of the guys in this list are 7'2", 7'3", 7'4". That's just the way the center position has developed this year, but at the same time, I still think he is a really, really good card, and I like his release. I think he moves not amazingly, but he can kind of sort of dribble, and he's fast, he's versatile defensively. He's an elite level card and one of the best opals in the game for sure. Hakeem is who I have at number 9. Honestly, these two cards do the same thing. You could basically switch Hakeem and Tyson if you want. The one difference is that Hakeem has Pro 2 fade and Tyson doesn't. Better fade, basically. Release-wise, Hakeem's might be slightly worse, but he's a better shooter in terms of his shooting badges. He's more complete as a base card. Obviously, on paper, Hakeem's a bit better. I think Tyson's release is a little better. Hakeem has the slightly better fade, but has better shooting badges. I think the main reason I give him an edge over Tyson, in all honesty, is because of shooting badges, but he's very similar in that he's about as good as any 7-foot big in the game, but he is a little teensy bit small compared to everyone else on this list. Number 8 is going to be Gilmore. 7'2", elite defender, really good card. This card can still compete at the highest level at the center spot. He is just a phenomenal top tier card. I think people sleep on how good this Gilmore still is at the center position because he's only a Galaxy Opal, but he's got 86 speed at his size, and the afro makes him look taller than 7'2", which I do think is actually a big deal. Only a 66 base 3-ball seems like a big deal, but I don't really think it's that big of a deal. Coaching shoes at 74, you add a couple shooting badges, it's a very smooth release. If he had a bad release, I'd have a bigger issue with it, but his release is actually very good. He's a great dunker. Not much for a playmaker, but he doesn't need to be. He's still, the thing about Artis is he may not be quite as good as the guys ahead of him, but he can guard them all. He provides comparable size. He's an elite inside big, and he'll knock down a wide open 3, and that's really all you need, especially out of somebody at his size, because he's got the speed as well. Still think Artis is probably your best buyable big in my team. Number 7, Dark Matter Kareem. I was actually tempted to put Artis over him, but the thing is, Kareem has a 90 base 3-ball, has better base shooting badges. I just can't put Artis over him, despite the fact that I like Artis' release better because Kareem is faster. He is overall the better card. I guess I'm not the biggest Kareem Abdul-Jabbar fan in the world this year. I don't know why. I just don't love his release. I guess that would be the main reason anyway. I do think he's a very good card, though. His release is smooth enough and easy enough to green, especially with good shooting stats and badges. And again, he's 7'2". Now, this Kareem has the old Kareem player build, which is not as big as his other player build with the afro, but that's still okay. He's still a giant center. He's still a capable shooter, amazing defender and dunker. Can put the ball on the floor a little bit. Kareem's still really good, man. He definitely is, and I think he's in a very fair spot right here at number 7. Number 6, Mark Eaton. I understand on paper he is not Kareem, but he's 2 inches taller than Kareem. Much bigger player build. Release is better than Kareem's. I don't care that he's only got a 69 3-ball. Yes, he doesn't have the limits range. He doesn't have the completeness in terms of the shooting badges, nor the playmaking badges, to be fair. But he's got every single defensive hoff in the game. He is an elite level dunker, and he's 7'4" with a massive player build and pretty good speed, especially for his size. Now, on paper, Kareem is the better card. I get it. I like Mark Eaton better. I think at the center position specifically, I would rather have Mark Eaton and his size, and I could understand your argument if you want to put Kareem a little higher. I think all three of these guys, honestly, are very close together between Eaton, Artis, and Kareem. But for now, this is what I'm going to stick with Kareem at 7 and Eaton at 6. Now, moving on. Number 5, Kristaps Porzingis. That man is, he's the best shooter we've seen so far on this list. All the shooting badges, in addition to a release that is really, really good at 7'3" and very good interior ability. You can't really argue with that. Now, is he I mean, 87 speed's not bad, but is he a little softer on the inside, maybe, even with the defensive hoffs compared to a couple of the other bigs we've looked at? Maybe a little bit. At the same time, this Kurt KP is really good with a great release. He shoots the ball at a very high level, and his size is super valuable. Sigs are not great, but Kobe dribble style is pretty decent. Outside of that, he doesn't have anything in terms of real shot creation, but that's okay, I think, as a whole. His shooting and his size and versatility still are enough to make him one of the best bigs in the game, and I'm pretty confident in taking him over all the guys I have below him still. Now, this one's a little close. I'm not going to lie. Yao Ming versus KP. I don't know who I'm listing Yao higher than KP because he's 3 inches taller with a much larger player build, but he's 4 speed slower. I mean, that doesn't play that differently compared to KP, especially with the extra size. I think they're about the same speed. He's not the shooter that KP is, that is for sure, but he does have good half shooting batters. He'll hit his wide open shots. That's about all he needs to do. He is a glitch on the inside, both offensively and defensively, as a rim protector, as a finisher, as a rebounder, all that type of stuff, in a way that KP just isn't. There's a player build difference with Yao and basically everybody else pretty much to their position, especially because we don't have Minute or Sean Bradley or Taco Fall or those types of guys right now. If we start getting those cards, then I think Yao will be a little bit more matched up with, but he at 7'6" with his player build is still glitchy enough to where, I mean, yes, the stats and values aren't unbelievable, but I think the extra couple inches of size really do make a difference at the center spot. And if you want to switch these guys, I totally get it. But for me, I think I would still lean Yao just slightly at this point in the year. Number 3. I know this is lower than y'all expected this man to be, but I'm putting Dark Matter Victor Wembanyama at the number 3 spot on this list. As good as Wemby is, and he is absolutely phenomenal, I think there are 2 guys on this list better. 7'4", 8-foot wingspan, elite level card, shoots the ball exceptionally well, solid playmaker, elite defender, elite finisher, very fast, 7'4", Pro 2 fade, solid release. Sigs are not amazing, but the tray behind the back's kind of nice. He is an extraordinary card. But there are 3 extraordinary centers that you can get right now in my team, and I truly do believe Wemby is arguably the worst of those 3. The reason I like Dikembe better than Wemby at number 2 is because Dikembe's release is better. I think player build-wise, Wemby is obviously bigger, but Dikembe can still compete size-wise with anybody. Is just as fast, basically. I know the shooting badges aren't quite as elite, nor is the 3-ball rating quite as high, but his release is better. It just is. It's the best. Honestly, I think Dikembe still probably has the best big man release in the game. He is really, really good as an overall card, and I think, yeah, very much, yeah, it handles for days, add Agent 3. He basically is missing nothing, you know what I mean? And his release is awesome. Pro 2 fade as well as fire, which obviously Wemby has as well. And his Sigs are not great, but they're about similar to Wemby in terms of shot creation ability. So really, really good card. You could switch these 2, and I would have no issues whatsoever. I just like Dikembe's release better. For me, that's the one differentiator between those 2, just slightly over Wemby's height and size. Now, number 1, I think Big Z is the best center in the game. If you badge Big Z out, give him handles for days, he is extraordinary. 7'3" with a 7'6" wingspan, 89 speed, 95 3-ball, 95 standing driving dunk, defensively phenomenal. He doesn't look on paper any more special than the other Dark Matters at the top of this list, like Dikembe and Wemby, but here's the thing about this card. He's got Jamal Murray behind the back. Why does he have Jamal Murray behind the back? I don't really know. But his release is also, by the way, I would say better than Wemby's. I don't think it's better than Dikembe's, but he moves much better than Dikembe. So that's enough for me to give him the edge over Dikembe still. And I think he is legitimately one of the more slept-on cards. Not slept on, just I didn't expect him to be unbelievably good. I expected him to be good. I thought this Big Z card was going to be really good. I saw him coming. I was like, wow, Big Z is going to be a stud. There's no doubt about it. But you don't really expect Big Z to turn into this like demon shot creator with Kemba Escape and Jamal Murray behind the back and like legit god tier go-to Sigs. That's definitely not what I was anticipating, and I would say it's probably not what y'all were anticipating either from this Big Z card. And he is, I mean, amazing release, but elite shot creator especially. The shot creation at his size is really unmatched by anybody not named GOAT Victor Wembanyama, and I'm not including GOAT cards at 100 overalls on this list. I think Big Z is the best center in the game right now, besides obviously GOAT Wemby and maybe 100 overall Yao, even though they're not on this list. With that being said, the center position's deep, dude. There's good viable cards, couple good free cards. Dikembe obviously was free. Artist is viable. Mark Eaton was free. There was a way to get him for free. Tyson Chandler was free. Like, there are some good options here that are non-gambling cards, but there's also some really good gambling cards, and I got lucky enough to pull Big Z yesterday in my 10-pack box, and that was one of my best pulls of the year. That card is insane. Very, very happy to have him, and he is, I think, the best gambling center in my team right now. So, with that being said, that is going to do it for this video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.